Okay, so let's do another one. What do we have today on the prompt list? Let's see. Nature's treasure. Oh, that sounds relatively easy. I mean, I know what nature is. I know what a treasure is. That is easy, I think. So I think I need this. I need my scarf because I have to go into nature to find my treasure. It is really cold outside. Or perhaps I should take my pillow as well so that I can warm up my head later when I come back. But Effie, where are you? He has to come with me. So I will put on my scarf. Perhaps he is still drinking his coffee. I mean, he's really not a morning person. Is he a person? He's an Effie. He's not a morning Effie. Effie? Where are you? We have to go. Come on. Oh my goodness. Is that really true? Oh my goodness, I can't believe my eyes. What are you doing there? Effie, come on. We have to go. What are you doing there? I mean, what the heck? Can you believe that? I mean, he has obviously learned something from me because look, he fits really well into this shelf. I mean, yeah, a lot of colors, but this is the really great spot for him. But what the heck are you doing there? It's cold outside. It's cold outside. Take your scarf and your gloves and then let's go. We have to find a treasure from nature. We have to do today's prompt. We have no time. We have to do that. The people want to see it. Come on. Oh, excuse me, please, but what do you mean you don't want to go outside? And what the heck? I mean, what happened to your outfit, Effie? That looks a little bit ridiculous. It's. Is it warm? I mean, what is your problem? It's a really, really nice day today. Look, we have to go outside and find a treasure from nature. So let's go. Come on. Holy moly, that was difficult to bring him outside. But Effie, it's not so hard. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit cold, I know. It's a little bit cold, but yeah, you have to do this. I mean, the people out there are supporting DeFemRember in such an awesome way. So we have to make some effort to give them good videos and good ideas. So don't be a Schisshase. Yeah, you don't understand German? Well, I think you understand German. You are a Schisshase. So let's search for a treasure here in the nature. What? That is difficult? Well, I think he's a little bit right. Because, look, this is my situation at the moment. It's relatively early in the morning here. And I think we need a shovel or something like that to find a treasure. I mean, this is really beautiful, isn't it? And this is winter in Austria, and this is winter here on Plansee. That's a lake in Austria where I am, and this is a part of my campsite where I'm not of my campsite. I'm sorry, it's not my campsite, of the campsite where I'm living. So here's my little house, and oh, I think I get an idea. Effie, I think I have an idea. Because first I thought, how the heck can we find a treasure from nature when all of this snow is covering nature at the moment? I mean, snow is part of the nature as well, I know. I'm trying to be funny. It doesn't work so well. But I think I just got an idea. Effie, where are you now? Effie? Oh my goodness. And what's that? Now you like it in the snow? Well, okay, so but we don't have time to play. I mean, what the heck are you doing there? I think I have found our treasure from nature. Look there. Look, those gorgeous icicles. I think we can take some of those as our treasure from nature. What do you think? You want to play in the snow. You want to play in the snow. We have to make the video. We have no time to play in the snow. But I mean, Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. I will take you with me. Let's commit. Commit. Oh, Effie, you are a good boy. You have chosen all of the colors that we want to use today. Is this our color palette? That totally makes sense. I mean, if this is not matching, then I don't know what is matching. So, ugh. Oh, you are a little bit wet. What's going on? I mean, why haven't you dried yourself after playing in the snow? It's going to become wet today, so it doesn't matter if you are wet. Well, that could be the truth. So I've harvested some icicles. So this is my part of this thing. That was his part. And I haven't thought that it would be so hard to get these icicles, because yesterday when I came to this idea, there have been many more, but in the night they have fallen off. And I had really a trouble to get these because everywhere is snow and I had to climb onto that snow to get these. So let's be fast because, yeah, of course, they're going to melt. And that is, of course, also what I want. I want that they melt, but not too fast. So let's start. I want to take some photo paper. This is matte photo paper. I guess you can do this with regular paper as well, but the photo paper has the advantage that it reacts really, really crazy with the mediums I want to use, and that is Distress Oxide Spray and Distress Spray Stain. So I've zoomed out a little bit so that you can see this better, and I will also link a playlist for you below where you can watch several videos where I make some experiments with this matte photo paper and oxide ink. And all of those results that we are going to get today, I don't know what it is going to become, but it's going to become waterproof in the end. Just so you know. So I want to take these icicles and place them here to my paper. Just like this. I'm going to start with the Spray Stain Speckled Egg. So I want to spray this on here and I want to see what happens when the ice is melting. I have absolutely no idea, but this is just satisfying. Oh my goodness. This would also give a really cool photo, but I can't record my video and make a photo at the same time. I mean, what even if this is going to become a fail, this looks so cool. I mean, even if it will not look like this later because this is going to melt, but that looks really interesting. So let's go on. And I thought I could stand them like so, but oh yes, that works. Oh no, okay, you want to do it like this. Okay. What's going to happen if we have them like standing, and then let's let some Speckled Egg Oxide ink refiller drop on here. You can't see what I see. This looks so cool when it drops down. I think I'm going to stop the camera for a second to make a photo so that I can show it to you from here, because that looks absolutely fantastic. Does this give only a puddle, or do we also have some kind of a print? So I'm going to take a second paper. So this with having them like standing, that is not like, no reason to freak out. But what I really like are those little splatters here. And that's from the spray, of course, but we also get these like shapes, and that is not the baddest thing. So I think I'm going to freak out a little bit. Did I just say that that there's no reason to freak out? I mean the other version of freaking out. Do you know what I mean? I want to place everything here before it's going to melt and then spray over it. Perhaps it's also good if you don't overthink this whole thing. These are dry now. I've just dried them with my heat gun. I think these results are somehow special. I mean, it's not a masterpiece. Yeah, it is definitely not a masterpiece. And this experiment was definitely more fun doing it than having those results. This is not so spectacular. I don't know what I expected from that, but that's the thing with experimenting. If you don't know what to expect and you experiment and then you get something, then you have something, and then you do you know what I mean? Then you can go with that. But the main point is that the experiment was fun, and it was definitely fun. It was really, really much fun. And because of that, I can live with the fact that these results are not like masterpieces. But for what I want to do for my journal and for the prompt, this is perfect. This is just perfect. And I thought, why don't I try to make a copy of these? Not only because then I at the same time have the chance to give you these as a freebie. So that means you can find these papers here on my website as a freebie. You can then download them and print them to the paper of your choice. And if you want, you can recreate what I will do in the next part of this video. And perhaps you, I mean, I just said this is not a masterpiece, and then I say I give this to you as a freebie. That sounds a little bit like, here's my junk, take it and leave. But what I was trying to do with this is to bring a part of my experiment to your craft desk as well. And I'm hoping that with watching the video, you had some fun as well, even if you perhaps are in a really hot climate and you don't have snow or something like that. I've just tried to bring something from here, from Austria, to you. And perhaps you think when you have these, I have some Austrian icicles on my paper, or at least what the icicles have left here. This is more like a hard freebie, do you know, something that comes from my heart and not necessarily from my skills as an artist. But I hope you like these, so I will scan them and then you can find them on my website. And I also thought about making a copy because of masterboards. You know, when you make a masterboard, then you often make a copy as well, and you use the copy instead of the original piece, so that you on the one hand have the original piece as, you know, a thing that you can copy over and over again, but the colors also get a little different when you make a copy. So let me show you something. I have copied one of those pages to normal copy paper with the lowest settings of my printer, and as you can see, it made these little neon orange lines here. I mean, this is a total fail, I would say. Then I have taken another piece of copy paper, but better quality, and then we have this, nearly the same like this, but without those lines. And then I have taken photo paper, matte photo paper, so the same paper I've used for making these originals. And as you can see, the colors are really, really different. This is way colder than this. So then we have this. So I would like to take one of these copies now, and I want to make an envelope, and onto that envelope I want to put a bird, and then I want to put that in my journal. So let's see. So I've chosen these copies here, and I have taken this. This was an envelope. I've taken it apart to have a template and to have something like an idea of the size, how big my envelope in the end shall be, because I want to put a focal point on here, and that shall be a bird. Don't freak out, it will change in a second. It will not stay like this, but this is a die cut, and I've taken this to see the proportion of the bird and the envelope, so that I now have an orientation for what I want to do, because I'm not an envelope making expert. when I open this, you can see it's bigger than my paper. That's why I have taken 2 of these copies, and now I want to tape them together to have a bigger piece to work with. I'm going to use some strong masking tape. So then this should be big enough to make the envelope out of it. And since I have this, I of course want to use this as part of my design for the envelope. And I thought, when this is later like this, and the bird is approximately on here, would be great when this, the sewing and the tape, goes like this behind the bird. So that means I would have to put this like so, approximately, and I can hold this and open it. So now this, I can feel this line here now, so I can imagine that it goes approximately like this, and when the bird is here, then this should be really, really nice. So I'm going to take a pencil and trace this envelope. So I have not cut these little triangles here yet, because I want to use this and this to be able to make a fold here now. And if I would cut it off, then I would probably cut my black line and I can't see it anymore. But this way, this should be possible, I think. I want to glue this with some double-sided tape, hoping that this is overlapping enough, but I think that should work. Oh no, my tape is sticking out here. Oh no. Okay. Solution. And since Defamorember is a collaboration with Barbara at 49 Dragonflies, I have to that's like a trauma. I'm just kidding. I have to put a stenciled thing here, pattern, to the inside of the envelope, because she is doing that all the time. And I really like that. It's really cool. So let's do that. This was Iced Spruce Oxide ink. Now I'm going to take Iced Spruce ink. I'm really happy that I have this ink. It's one of the few inks I have, because I want to have these edges here in the same color, but a little different, you know, oxide ink and ink, you know what I mean. I want this also a little bit framed, and with the colors for my bird in my head, I already know how I want to make the bird. I'm going to take this stencil again, leaving the rest of the oxide ink on here. And now I want to have the stenciling only in this triangle here on the top. So I'm deciding for a nice portion of this. And I want to bring a little bit more interest to my background now. And the cool thing is, even if you would use the original paper that we've made, this original icicle paper, if you had used matte photo paper. The original would be waterproof as well. With this copy on the photo paper, this is waterproof as well. And even this here is, let's say, nearly waterproof. The oxide ink is sitting on here. And if I would spritz water, a tiny little bit would go off, but the main thing would be waterproof. It's only on matte photo paper, but it's a fact. Thank me later. And because the oxide ink makes really cool effects on photo paper, not only on photo paper, of course, but you know, it's really amazing. I will again link my playlist. Why have I put it so close to this edge? Can someone tell me that, please? Oh, I will again link my playlist, which is called Magic with Matte Photo Paper, down below for you, so that you can check that out and see what I'm talking about here if you have never seen it. This brush is not good for this because it's magic. It's magic. You have to see that. If you work with Ranger mediums and if you have oxide inks, oxide refillers, or also the normal inks, and you want to do something really cool, then you have to watch that playlist and the videos in the playlist, because it's just magic. The oxidation gets totally different than on normal paper, not with every color, but with the most colors. You get sometimes really extreme results. For example, Uncharted Mariner, which is this color, is going to leave pink marks on your paper if you use it on the matte photo paper. And also the other colors, for example, Vintage Photo or some of the other browns, come out really, really rusty, I would say. Oh no, what is that? Oh my goodness, why is here black on my... Oh no! This is art. Holy crap. Oh no, this is the rest of acrylic paint. Holy moly. That comes when you don't have time to clean your stuff in between of two videos. Oh, my nerves. What I'm trying to say is, look at the oxidation, which is already starting here, of frayed burlap. I mean, I've used the refiller here to make it even more intense on this paper. The more concentrated your medium is, the more of this effect you get. Meaning, if you use this, you get the most extreme effect compared to oxide spray. You could also splatter oxide spray on here and you would get a similar effect, but not this extreme, but different than on normal paper, yeah, or on watercolor paper or something like that. It's the special surface of the photo paper which makes this so extreme. I will probably add more splatters later in other colors, but I first want to assemble my bird so that I can see what I'm doing here. And I want to use a die cut, and it's this die cut I want to use by Tim Holtz and Sizzix. And as you can see, this is a Thinlits colorized die cut, meaning it has several different layers, and this, what we have had on the envelope for getting the proportion, is just the base layer. When I saw, oh, and the number is 665857, and this is called Bird and Egg, I guess, yes, Bird and Egg. And when I saw the colorized die cuts for the first time, I thought, oh my goodness, you have to be the most patient person in this world to get all of these pieces into the right place. And then I bought my first colorized die cut, and with the first second, I've changed my mind. It's so easy to assemble, and because I know that many of you are like afraid of doing this, I want to go a little bit more in detail about assembling this, So if you know how to do it, please just skip a little bit of this video and watch the rest if you want after I have assembled this. I got many questions on how to get this into the right position, how to find the colors. If you don't want to do it exactly like on the package, yeah, sometimes you think, oh, I want to assemble this like it has to be assembled, but I don't want to use these colors. How can you find out which colors you shall use? I have found out some tricks by watching other videos, by trying something out, and I want to share this with you today. So the first thing is, this base layer I have cut out from black paper because the legs of the bird and the, you have told me how this is called, the beak, I guess, and the eye are going to be black later, and this and this and the legs is going to be shown later, even if all of the other layers are on top. How to know from which color you should cut this out? You can see this here on the package. If you look close, you can see that this is the bottom layer. So, and when it's black here, you can know, okay, black, or something similar that makes sense for your color choice. The other good thing is, you can do that really strategically, nah, you know. I'm so sorry. I can't say that word. So this, here, look, this says, I'm so sorry. This says black, meaning you can read here which color it says, and it's the same color like on the package. So you know that you would need this for your black layer or the color you have chosen, and cut that out. And then with the other layers, you have the colors from the package and numbers. So this says brown 1. I'm so sorry. Brown 1. So you can see where is brown here on the bird. So it's the first brown layer. So meaning you can cut this out from brown paper, or you can color it by yourself after cutting it from white paper. Then, of course, you can see this must be the egg. Yeah. So you can see which shapes you have here. And then this says brown 2, meaning this is the second layer which goes on here. And then you have brown 3 and so on. So this is brown 3, cuts out the next pieces which are going on here and so on. So you can read on the back of the die cuts which colors you have to use if you want to have it like this. You can then exchange them if you want to use other colors, and you know exactly the order where these shall go. Strategically. That must be a word. So I have cut out this here from black paper and all of the other layers from white watercolor paper, because I want to use my own colors here, and I want to do it a tiny little bit different. But I can recommend, if you have something like this and you assemble it for the first time, try to stay in the colors on the package first, and once you've done it for one bird, you know exactly which piece is which. You get to know the pieces and the shapes. Please believe me, it's like a puzzle where you then can do that automatically in the right order. You don't have to read anymore what's written on the back of the die cuts, because you know which piece goes where. And it's also really easy to see. So this is brown 1. And you can see that the other layer has these little marks there. Can you see that? And they are on the other layers as well. So that means you can line this up. And yet then you can see the eye, for example, goes exactly there where this round mark is. And here as well. So you can line that up here. And then you can see there are more of these marks on the next layer. So the die cut itself embosses these lines so that you know where to put the other pieces. For this, so let me put this out of the way so that I don't spritz to my package. That happened yesterday in the German video. I don't want this to happen again. So I want to take some ground espresso spray stain, but I will first add some water to get it not too dark, because I know that on this paper the color gets nearly black when I dry it. So this is now my darkest color, which I use to start with for this layer. I'm going to put this aside. And then the next layer, brown 2, is this here. Looks a little bit like a weird alien frog, but it's belonging to the bird. I want to use walnut stain as a little lighter brown compared to ground espresso, and a different brown, of course, as well, not only lighter. Just like this. The next thing is this here. For that, I'm going to use frayed burlap spray stain. You can also find videos on Sisik's YouTube channel that are like animated videos, so no one is talking there. Really short, really helpful in my eyes. It's like an animation on how to put these pieces together. So the pieces are flying into the screen, animated by a computer, and that way you can see how to layer the pieces on top, and you get that like visualized. When you have these pieces in front of you, you can easily identify what to use next, and they also show you the colors, and those videos are available separately for each of the colorized die cuts. So if you, for example, have this one, then you can just go to Sisik's YouTube channel and search, for example, for Thinlits Colorize, and if you have the name bird and egg, you can put that into the search bar, or you can of course search with the number, and then you can easily find it. So for these strange pieces, I want to use brushed corduroy, and I'm also always so fascinated by these pieces that they fit together later so well, because look, I mean, this looks really like a really creepy creature, and it's part of the bird later. And for me, that is like, bam, that is just awesome. And since the bird on the package has really light areas here, I want to try something and use some mica stain spray for these top layers here. Yeah, this top layer, I mean, it's made out of several different pieces, 3 pieces to be clear. You could do this with, for example, antique linen or so. I mean, I don't know what this is. I think that this is Sisik's cardstock or something that they used to make the picture for the package. But I want to have the bird a little shiny, and for that I thought mica stain spray would be nice. And for the color I have chosen Unraveled, because I think that that is relatively close to antique linen, and antique linen is close to what I can see here. Do you know what I mean? So I have chosen this. You don't have to go to the gym if you use mica stain sprays regularly. Ah, wonderful. Saves a lot of time. I was thinking about a focal point and what would make sense in combination with this, yeah, let's say iced paper. And I thought I have to put something on there, on my envelope, which is matching the theme of this prompt and the paper, of course. And I thought, well, birds, the most birds have gone. Yeah, I mean, they have traveled to warmer countries and nearly no birds are left here. But when I was standing outside and I was checking where I could take the icicles, there was a little bird sitting in front of me in the snow, and it was definitely a bird which shouldn't be here anymore, and I was a little bit confused why he is still here. And first I thought he has some problems, I mean, with his health or so. But later on, when he was sitting there and then he was flying away and he came back, and it was like he was talking to me somehow. And then I realized that he was okay, but I couldn't find out why he was sitting there and why he's still here. But I thought, okay, let's put a bird to the envelope. So that was the inspiration for using this die cut. And what I also like to do is, I like to have the package of the bird now out of my way. I don't look at it only when I have a piece in my hand where I absolutely don't know where to put it. That sounds a little bit arrogant, but it has a reason. And if you hear the reason, perhaps if you've never done it, then perhaps that sounds like logical. Because when I now have these pieces and I know the order, because I've read what's written on the back of the die cuts, then I have the chance to make this into my own. Here, for example, this is a good example. I have no idea if this little slot here has to go exactly on here. Probably yes. Let's check that. Yeah, it's meant to go exactly over this. But if you take this and if you offset this a little bit, and you do something like this for several different pieces and not only for this one, you can turn this into your own, because now it's not the same than on the package anymore. It's only a tiny detail, yes, but if you do that with several things, then you can turn this totally into your own piece. Especially if I like the color below, and this will cover up a lot of the color, I like to offset this as well, so that now, look, this green here comes through here. If I wouldn't do that and would put it like so, then everything of the green would be covered up. But I like to have it a little bit freestyle. That way the bird gets my bird and not the bird from the package. Splatter some dirty water on here to make some interesting effects on the watercolor paper. And I think we can also connect the colors of the bird and the envelope a little bit better by adding some oxide splatters. So let's see which color we could use for that. The background is relatively blue-ish, and the color here is like nearly cracked pistachio or something like that, this oxidation. But I want to try, what do I want to try? Yes, I want to try to, you should think about what you want to try and say before you try to say it. We could use some of the frayed burlap oxide refiller, and I want to use the refiller as well, hoping for a really extreme oxidation on this here. And I think, oh my goodness, I'm afraid I want to try cracked pistachio, because I think that could show up really, really nice here on the bird. And then it matches the background as well. And I think we should also add a few brownish, orangey brownish splatters to the background. And I think we can use brushed corduroy spray stain. And because of the photo paper, this is now like an intense version of the brushed corduroy here on the watercolor paper, and that makes it look like the splatters are really in the background, but you can see it's the same color, and that makes it connected somehow. to get a little bit more interest to the background with something else than splatters, I want to use a stamp, and I have chosen this here, which comes from the Etc. CMS 302 set by Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous. And I want to try to get portions of this stamp like behind the bird, and I think we should stamp that with ice spruce ink. So now he needs something to stand on, and since the bird has relatively much black, I thought we need more black, and now I have to reproduce my thoughts from the German video, because that was like my live reaction to that. When I was searching for some black things, I found this piece of paper that also came from Barbara, and I have saved this piece, yeah, because I thought this is just so beautiful, and I don't want to waste this. Yeah, I want to have a place for this piece where it's really popping out, and where, you know, you can see the beauty of this paper. So yesterday for the German video, I have taken this and I thought, why don't we place it behind the bird? And then I thought, that is way too busy. The bird is like, you know, he's not free anymore somehow. But then the bird went like so, and I thought, what the heck is this? How cool does it look when the bird has black butterfly wings? And then I struggled around, to be honest, 2 hours or so with stamping and trying out different materials, butterflies and so on, because I have this piece only one time, yeah, and I want to have the same butterfly wings for this video that as for the end for the other video. So I thought, if I use these, then they are gone, and what shall I do with you as my English-speaking community? So I thought that is not good. And I wanted to have both of the wings, and I can't make a copy of this piece. Yeah, perhaps you think just make a copy and use the copy. Of course, that's not possible and that's not allowed, because on this paper there must be copyright. Yeah, so I thought, what can I do? And then I came to the following solution. And where have I put my solution now? Oh no. First I had stamped and embossed this butterfly, but where's the second one now, please? Oh no. So I've decided to use this butterfly. I've stamped that with the Flutter set, or one of the butterflies from the Flutter set by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. The number is CMS 294. And then I've embossed that with some black embossing powder, super fine detail, because these butterflies have many details, as you can see. This is nice, but it's a little bit too massive, too black for me, so I've decided to use this here. This would be a really nice solution in my eyes. That looks so cute. I am so in love with this, but it's the Ephemeramber. And because of that, I want to do it like this. What do you think? And then I thought, since these are embossed with black embossing powder, and when you move this, you can see the glossy finish of this, I thought we need more black in with the same medium. So I thought I take this stamp here with these numbers. And I also found a stamp which matches the theme of this really well. And the stamp has a quote, and that is this one here. Because when you stop and look around, this life is pretty amazing. This is also by Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous. And this space here is just perfect in my eyes to stamp that. And I want to emboss that as well. And now I want to cut out some plants and put those around the bird. I'm going to use this set, also by Sizzix and Tim Holtz. The number is 661206 and the name is Garden Greens. And I will now cut out some of those from some black paper to have options with more black. And I also found this piece here in my stash. I know that this is just some craft paper with oxide sprays. I'm not so sure if this will match here so well, but I want to try it. This is like a little additional pop of color. And I also have some leftovers from other projects, like this for example, and I want to use those pieces to cut out some of those plants. Okay, so here we go. We have these little plants now to arrange them around the bird. I think I need some Arizona iced tea before before I can do this. Why do I need to buy this? Only because it says Arizona. I'm a little bit influenced, I think. So I thought, but it's really, really delicious. I thought, why don't we put this here? And what about these, which I've cut out from the craft stock that had not the right color for the background. But sometimes when you cut out something and you put it then there with only this portion, sometimes it works color-wise. And I think this is not so bad. It also breaks this a little bit. And since here is definitely something missing, and we are talking about a treasure from nature, I thought, I'm in Austria. What would be a treasure from nature from Austria? And then I came to the idea to take a real Edelweiss. Normally, if you see one, you are not allowed to take it with you. But these are like grown for souvenirs. And then I thought, something is a little weird here. This is relatively balanced in my eyes. The bird is a really nice focal point. I love the bird. But when I look at it, I think something is missing, because who is going to stop and look around to see that this life is pretty amazing? So I want to have a human being on my envelope here to get a more closer connection to this quote here and to the whole topic of this thing. And then I also want to add some white splatters. And then I can't resist. I want to add some black splatters as well, but just a tiny little bit. So this is completely dry now. And I've just decided that I want to place the envelope here where I have this white page, which will probably not stay white, but I thought in this moment I like this here, so why don't we put it here? I want to make the holes so that these 3 rings can go in here and both of these can go in here. And I also want to add these hole reinforcements, but not to reinforce the holes, but for decoration. I think this looks really nice. So then we can put this in here. And this makes sense to me as well. The colors go really well together, I think, especially with this gold there. So then we have that. And with this, we have finished this prompt, Nature's Treasure. And tomorrow we are going to have the prompt, Recycled Fairy. What is a recycled fairy? I have no idea. But we are going to find that out tomorrow. And I'm sure I will come up with an idea that we can create and that we can have fun with. So let's see tomorrow. And please don't forget to check out Barbara's video to see what she has done for today's prompt. Have a very creative day and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.